Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to our latest instalment of Castaway, where I'm hosting it. So it's Fingermouse, and I have Woody with me, and we've been given $150 million.
Well, we might have to stretch it a bit on this one.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough. But, you know, people like to have cameos and small parts. And we are going to cast a film, a bit of a sci-fi sort of fantasy film by the name of Cocoon. So we need to decide, and I think it's quite an apt castaway this week with the passing of Wilfred Brimley, who was going to play Ben I believe in somebody's ideas anyway.
Yeah, apparently he's got, I mean, you know, I'm a diabetic. He's got a great way of saying diabetes.
Diabetes.
Diabetes. Oh, we have. You know, so in honour of the guy who was apparently supposed to be up for playing Ben originally back in '85, we thought we'd go with a little Cocoon action.
Absolutely. Right. So, Ben Luckett.
It's basically aliens come down. They want to. Yeah, they settled the colony in Earth back in ancient Greece. It would probably have been, because the colony turned out to be Atlantis, and now they've had to leave 20 people behind. And when Atlantis sank, they left 20 behind. They've had to come back now and pick them up, and they've got to charge. They're renting a house. They're charging the pool with life energy so they can survive the trip back home. But next door to the house that they're renting, there's an old folks home. And what do those old folks like to do? There's a few of them. 3 lads especially, and one of their mates who'd like to break in and, you know, for a bit of a lark, have a swim in there. Suddenly they find themselves feeling a whole lot younger, and adventure ensues.
I have to say, I mean, it's a cracking sounding film. The script was fabulous.
It's a great premise. I mean, when you get to the director at the end.
Yeah, okay, right. So we need a Ben, and I think what we do is we look at the Ben that we've got, and then
man and wife sort of thing.
Yeah, that's where I was going. So
what do you want to do?
So my Ben Luckett, I went British. So hear me out, and bear in mind Ben and his wife, their kids in it. They don't have to be British, but hear me out. So I went for either Michael Gambon or Anthony Hopkins, sir. And the married to, now where are we? I have written it down. Oh, come on. Helen Mirren.
Yeah, well, see, we've gone for the same wife. We've gone for the wife on there. Mine are, I've got 4 choices, all American, one that I favour over all others. And I'll tell you why at the end when I've read out all my choices to you. First choice, Robert De Niro, 76. I thought, Tom Selleck, 75.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Richard Gere, 70. But then I thought, hold on a minute. Thinking of Helen Mirren as the wife, I'm thinking Mosquito Coast and Harrison Ford, 78. They played their husband and wife back in the 80s in Mosquito Coast.
Yeah. See, I've got Harrison Ford for a different role. And there's a reason for that. But yeah, because I see Art as the slightly younger, more sprightly character compared to Joe.
Yeah, but you know that Harrison Ford's miserable, and he plays miserable really well.
Yeah.
My 2 for Art. Yeah, I think you'll like them.
Okay, so are we happy then with Helen Mirren as the wife?
I think Helen Mirren as the wife. I think that's a great choice.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go Helen Mirren, and you know what?
I think I looked it up.
I am gonna concede Harrison Ford because I like it for Ben. So we're gonna go Harrison Ford. Okay.
Now we've got his daughter and grandson as well. To pick on it.
Well, yeah, and we'll get to that at the end. But I know Harrison Ford is older than we believe, but his daughter and grandson, you know, I think I've got it nailed. But we'll get to that in a bit.
We'll go for it.
Okay, So
we
need Art Selwyn and his wife.
The only single guy out of them, out of the gang.
Oh yeah, but he ends. Sorry, he ends up. I was trying to remember from the script. He ends up meeting somebody, doesn't he? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, see, I'd got Harrison Ford then for this role.
Yeah, I've gone for two that I think, either of which are kind of perfect for this, and that's Jack Nicholson, 83. You know, as the womanizing guy in there, I think it's kind of perfect. Or Samuel L. Jackson, 71.
I do like Samuel L. Jackson.
I've that shot every.
And he's young enough that this role, he's got to be a bit of a flirty, likes to dance.
Yeah.
But
When you, I mean, what it was, watching Hitman's Bodyguard here recently, when he gets on that minibus with all the nuns and just kind of flirting with the nuns, it's just hilarious. And he's got that charm to him. He's got a great job. But that's why I kind of thought, well, Nicholson, he doesn't have the physical nature of it, but he's got the charm, and he's the guy who never settled down and everything. But Samuel L. Jackson at 71 could probably carry off the role just that little bit easier.
See, I've got Nicholson and one other for the role of Joe, because I see it as a little bit older, and his wife's that little bit older.
Yeah, I thought Joe's the older character. Yes. So, I think Samuel L. Jackson.
I love Samuel L. Jackson. Perfect.
Could be the great guy.
Yeah. Oh, have I lost you? Oh,
no, I don't know if it's is it mine or yours cracking up.
It might be mine a bit, so apologies. Oh no, we are back. So, okay. So I'm happy with Samuel L. Jackson playing Art. I think that's a masterstroke.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No, I think he's just got enough, and he's young enough as well. He can still do a bit of the physical stuff. Plus, they'll CGI a lot of the over the top young physical stuff on them, really. So I think he's got the charm to him.
So what we need is Joe, who and
as you say, he seems like the older one of the lot of them.
And from memory, and I might have got this wrong, from looking at the script, you got Joe and his wife. Joe's that little bit older. I went for very old, and then I went, not too old, if that makes sense. Because I thought Joe, doesn't he have a bit of an illicit liaison with somebody in it as well?
Well, Joe's like, they reckon Bernie taunts him about his marriage, like falling apart and stuff, and he knocks out two of the guard guys in the old folks home. So, it must be a bit handy and everything, and like he can turn it on and do it there. Yeah, I've got two names for him.
I've got two.
Yours. You say you've got.
I'd got Jack Nicholson as one, just because Jack Nicholson makes most things great. So Jack Nicholson was one. And with the one a lot older, not seen him for a while, Clint Eastwood.
So Clint Eastwood was like the guy that I first looked at for Ben Luckett. I was thinking that. And I thought, no, he's just a bit too hard-faced for him. But yeah, he's great, full stop. I'm not sure if this will be the film for him. I don't know if he's got the sense of humour about it all these days. He just seems a bit on the miserable side. And maybe Harrison will be enough of miserable to have there. I think Harrison can be fun. If Harrison's around the right folks, I think Harrison could be fun.
Yeah,
I think he'd love I still quite like Jack, though. Jack's my favourite as he choices. My choice is for Joe.
Hang on, I've lost you, mate.
And Michael Douglas punches the guy straight away. Oh yeah, you can throw a punch still.
Hang on, bear with me a second, Mart. I'm going to switch internet. Bear with me.
Yeah.
Hello, are you back?
I am here, though.
Lovely. So seamless.
But my two, I'd go for Morgan Freeman, 83, or Michael Douglas, 75. As I say, Michael Douglas recently watching Ant-Man when he decks the guy at the beginning later, and he's bringing himself back a little bit.
But we need Jack in this, don't we? We need Jack Nicholson in it.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas is brilliant, though. Oh, oh.
It's a toughie.
You know what?
We've got Harrison 78 as Ben. We've got Sam as 71 as Arthur Selwyn. Art. Now we're looking at the Joe character, and at the moment it's probably between Michael Douglas and Jack Nicholson.
I think Michael Douglas, mate. I think that's better than mine. That's a great casting.
I like yours. I think Michael Douglas might be good for it. I just think acting range. Jack Nicholson's always fantastic in everything you put him in. Oh, it's a bugger.
I know, but you know what? Michael Douglas will be good in this. He's probably sprightly enough that he could still do this quite comfortably.
And you've got to probably be fun with the guys doing it as well.
Yeah. Yep. Let's go Michael Douglas for the part of Joe. And it'll be interesting now who we go for in terms of his wife. And I think I've got a good person for his wife. Right. Okay. We need a Bernie Lefkowitz. So
do you want the wife now, or would he just go? Oh, yeah, we'll just do Bernie now. It was Ben that you wanted to match the one.
Yeah. So Bernie.
I've got one suggestion.
I've only got one.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, I don't know. I know why you're saying Dustin Hoffman. I didn't go down his surname and Jewish roots. I went for Morgan Freeman just because I wanted Morgan Freeman in it, and I was starting to run out of roles that I could put in. But yeah, Dustin Hoffman's brilliant.
He's the miserable little grass of them all.
Yeah.
And Dustin can play a miserable little grass. And when his wife passes away and he can't revive her, Dustin can ring out that emotion as well as the broken man holding his wife dead in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
You know, when you read that scene, you think, you want an actor who can really push that out. They can be the snivelling little one of the gang who's the outsider, too scared to really join in, and yet also be the morally strong one who doesn't go with them at the end, the one who stays behind because he's broken-hearted at losing his wife and doesn't want to live forever without her.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm going for Dustin Hoffman. I think that's brilliant. And already, I love the casting.
Obviously, as you see with Joe Finley, I was looking for a role for Morgan as well.
Yeah, I already love it, and we've only done 4 or 5 parts.
Well, we've cast for the four main guys in it. Well, 3 and the outside. So we've got Harrison, we've got Samuel L. Jackson, Harrison Ford, Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Douglas, and Dustin Hoffman. That sounds an interesting cast.
What's our budget? Because we're going to need some more money, mate.
We're budget busting here.
Okay. So
what we need. Busting makes me feel good.
What we need is an Ontarian leader. So I went for a couple of options where I was looking for people who were a little bit unusual. So I wanted them to feel a little bit otherworldly. So hear me out. The 2 options I went for, I was looking at Steve Buscemi or Willem Dafoe.
Nice choices, but I think Willem Dafoe is maybe a little hard-faced for it, but not bad. But I like Steve Buscemi. I like Steve Buscemi all the time. He's a great actor. I
thought Steve Buscemi could be enough where he could be serious enough, but he looks, you'd be like, what's he up to? Yeah. He always looks suspicious, doesn't he? Anyway, that's what I was thinking of. What did you have for Walter, the Ontarian leader?
I've got one name. I sort of thought of him. I thought, that'd be good. There's bits. He's a character who plays like fun and friendly with everyone. He sort of has a taunting, sort of playful role with Jack the captain when he's like showing him the map and like, oh yeah, it's Japanese Jack. Yeah, of course. So they're playing along with it all. And then does it? You don't know who you can trust these days. Pulls down, let the light out. It's not a character who can, and then he's got to turn around and be a bit commanding when he's kicking everyone out of the pool, still be a bit sort of broken at times. Robert Downey Jr., 55. I just thought he's just the right sort. He's too old to be the romantic lead. He's too young to be one of the old guys. He's not doing anything big at the moment. Now he's finished with his franchise work. It could be a great fit for him.
I like it because, again, for obvious reasons, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. I just think he's probably far too big for that role. Whereas
but the lead. He's the lead alien. He's the guy who was probably the most successful if they'd have done it in the 80s.
Yeah.
When they were thinking, was it Brian Dennehy?
Yeah. It's I know Brian Dennehy. He was in absolutely. He was in Rambo, wasn't he? I don't know. I like Steve Buscemi in the fact that he could play that he could play that serious.
Mate, I've had all of my choices so far. I'll happily surrender Steve Buscemi to you. I'm feeling guilty. Frankly, Steve Buscemi's great anyway. I love the guy.
Could you see what I was thinking with it?
Danny Jr. would be brilliant for it, but I think Steve Buscemi would be brilliant for it. And we picked lots of my choices. Screw it, Steve Buscemi is the guy.
Very good, excellent. Yeah, I think it'd be great. I think he could play serious. He could have a little bit of a turn as well, but yeah.
He could do fun. Airheads is still one of my favourite things to ever did. And he does all the stuff with Adam Sandler. He'll pop up and do things. I mean, Wedding Singer when he pops up doing stuff.
He's amazing. He's amazing in Wedding Singer. All right.
And the same guy who, was it in 9/11, was like pulling flaming people out of crushed burning buildings with the New York firemen. The guy's amazing. Yeah. Every day of the week.
He's brilliant in Boardwalk Empire. He's just great. He's great in all the Tarantino films he was in.
He's a great human being, full stop.
Love him. Okay. We're agreed.
Oh, yeah. Of course, he's been to outer space riding a giant gun.
Absolutely. Okay. Kitty. So, I thought otherworldly. Who's played somebody that's been on another planet who could... So I wanted somebody that could play very attractive, catch the eye of my leading man, but could be very deadpan with it and very straight with it. So I got it down to 2, and I think you'll understand why. So my first choice was Brie Larson. My second choice was Zoe Saldana.
They're great choices, straight off the mark. Yeah, both of them are fantastic choices. I'm very happy with those. I went along a similar sort of path. I went for somebody beautiful, strange sounding, just for the whole thing. I went for Gal Gadot.
I get that.
Just on it, but any of those three, are fantastic. They're beautiful, talented actresses, each and every one of them.
Oh, Gal Gadot, bloody hell! Yeah, because she just talk as she does.
Yeah,
that's great.
It's not a heavily talkative role. It's got to be a bit sensual, especially that swimming pool scene where they do the making love, where she shares her energy with him and all that. So.
I have to say, mate, I'm going for Gal Gadot. I think that's better than mine. You've won me on that one. But I am going to fight.
I'd be happy with any of them. That's why I went for her. I thought she kind of fits the role there. And it's not too crazy. It's within her acting, and the strange voice will fit in again there.
Now, I am going to fight tooth and nail for my choice for Jack. So, main role, we need somebody wisecracking, finds Gal Gadot gorgeous, a little bit down on his luck, loves hanging around with, looking out for the pensioners out on his boats. I'd got one choice, one name. It was my first cast on this Castaway. And I would like Jack Bonner to be played by the wonderful Mr. Ryan Reynolds.
It's great. Great. Now, I went for a younger casting. I went for Zac Efron, straight away. I thought, hold on. Much like the Police Academy, I thought who could play a modern day Steve Guttenberg sort of part, that sort of role. I thought Zac Efron would be perfect for it, but so would Ryan Reynolds. Honestly, you really want him. As I say once again, I've had a lot. I'd happily have Ryan Reynolds in anything. He's great, full stop. They're both going to play the same sort of character in my head. It's just that Zach would be the younger guy doing it. Ryan's the slightly older guy doing it.
I just think Ryan Reynolds would be superb. I think Ryan Reynolds is what Steve Guttenberg would have been had Steve Guttenberg's career continued on its correct trajectory rather than bombing in the early 90s.
And Steve Guttenberg been better looking.
Yeah.
there's no Ryan Reynolds. Jesus Christ, that man is good looking.
Yeah, I just think
he'd be good looking. I just hope that he's got a tiny cock. I mean, he's already making children, so you know it works. You just hope something's wrong there.
Can you imagine him in this though, being guided by Steve Buscemi, falling out with him, saying, "What about?" And and then he's caught the eye of Gal Gadot. It'd be amazing. Sorry, I'm sticking me neck out with that one. Yeah, if you're happy with that, I'm definitely happy with it.
So I'd be happy. I said with any of them, they'd all be playing the same sort of character. Zach would be doing the younger version, Ryan would be doing the older version. You really want Ryan? I'm happy to go with that, mate.
Right, we're going Ryan Reynolds. Brilliant.
You've done Zac Efron out a job there. He could have had that. Oh, you cruel man. You'll never get to stretch beyond his means.
So we'd already cast Helen Mirren as Mary, haven't we?
3 years Helen Mirren.
So now what we need is Michael Douglas's Joe Finley. We need his wife. I'd got it down to 2 names, but now we've got Michael Douglas. I've got it down to 1.
See, now I've got it down. I've been thinking before, if it had been Morgan, I've got a couple of choices in here for him. I've got a few. Whoopi Goldberg, 74.
Yeah.
Judi Dench, 83.
Yeah.
Hold on down there. Ding, 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 ding. The possibility Jane Fonda, 79.
See, I'd got Jane Fonda for the other role for the
Bess.
For Bess. I'd got Jane Fonda or Susan Sarandon for that.
One of my ones down for Bess.
I'd got Susan Sarandon or Jane Fonda down for Bess. But I'd got Alma Finley. I've got Julie Andrews, and I think she could look quite good with Michael Douglas. Actually,
I think she won't be bad. She's great. I don't think the age matters. She's slightly older than him, but she looks stunning anyway. I mean, you see, saw the interview on Graham Norton a couple of years back. She looks amazing. Full stop. That's brilliant. She's a great actress, and I think she could well be a great choice for that. Yeah. So I'm not against that at all.
Okay. I also think she's got to look after kids at one point as well.
I've got a lot of names for Bess.
Yeah. Well, I'll go through my best names in a minute. Yeah. But Alma looks after kids as well, doesn't she? And I don't think there'd be any better nanny for kids than Mary Poppins.
She'd be kind of great. I'd say I'd like to put Judi Dench down there, and she's 83, which I think is like 2 years older. I think that the Mary Poppins is 81 or something.
81, yeah. But
I'm down for that.
I could see Michael Douglas with Julie Andrews. I'm not sure I could see him with Judi Dench.
Oh, I could see him with both. It's just, you play in the acting. I was trying to go for not all great-looking actresses. Yeah, she's nice, but she does have that motherly thing, that grandmotherly thing about her sort of thing as well.
And don't forget, he does cast his eye away, doesn't he? And he ends up being a bit silly. Yeah. Okay. Happy with Julie Andrews?
I'm happy with Julie Andrews. She's fantastic.
Okay. So, Rose. So, this is Bernie's wife. So, I'm a little bit stuck now on this. So, who did you go for?
I've got a choice for this. I've got one choice for this. And once again, it's on a film type. We've gone for Dustin Hoffman.
I think I know who's going to be.
I've gone Kramer versus Kramer, Meryl Streep as his wife.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's done.
71-year-old Meryl Streep. I just thought, it's Kramer versus Kramer. It's got to be in there.
The only other one I thought, but they've been in films together before, was Barbara Streisand. That was the only other one I was thinking.
Barbara Streisand and Tilly. Crikey. Yeah, Lily Tomlinson.
Yeah,
would have been like an outside choice, but I just thought Kramer versus Kramer, Meryl Streep. That would just it amuses me to have the Mosquito Coast couple and the Kramer versus Kramer couple.
But
in there.
Poor Meryl Streep, she dies though. Oh.
And she's got the acting. She's got the acting talent though to bring some emotion. Say between her and Dustin, they can wring some emotion out of that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yep, I'm happy with Meryl Streep. Love that.
Yeah. Meryl was like one of my choices for Ben's wife originally, and then it was as soon as I had Dustin in there, it was left to it. And she's like, "Oh, I've got to go Kramer versus Kramer."
Yeah.
Oh God.
So we need a Bess, and this is the one that ends up with art.
With art.
So I'd got it down to 2. I think I've mentioned.
You could maybe be as flirty as him, sort of thing.
Well, I'd got it down to 2. And I'd mentioned one as Jane Fonda because it's Barbarella, for God's sake.
Oh, she's 79, but she's striking and still beautiful, you know.
But the other one I got was Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, with big-eyed, beautiful Susan, just wonderful.
And I could see her with Samuel L. Jackson as well.
I'd see all of them. They're just compelling people. Full stop. I've got a few choices here on for Bess. My first choice, 74-year-old Cher. You know, you want somebody to be with Samuel L. Jackson. That's kind of perfect.
I just hate her.
Still just a flirt. Yeah, but she's kind of perfect for the role. She's a flirt. You could do her whatever. She's doesn't look 74, but 74. When I was thinking Jack Nicholson, I thought Angelica Houston, the ex.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought Jane Fonda, 79, still just beautiful and amazing. Possibly really twisted there. Joan Collins, 84. Kind of wonderful there on it. I think those were my 4 choices on that.
We both got Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
And she's lovely. And she was Barbarella.
She's wonderful, and wouldn't you love to see her name on a big film again as well?
Yeah.
With the cast that we're talking here, I think she'd be kind of perfect.
I vote Jane Fonda, mate.
Yeah, I'm happy with you. Say she's one that I've suggested as well. I think she'd be kind of wonderful for us.
Right then. So, Ben and Mary need to have a daughter. So, I went for, I'd got one name. I went for Bryce Dallas Howard.
So go for it.
I went for Bryce Dallas Howard.
Nice. She's younger than I'd gone for with them, but you could do that. They'd have just had a late life.
And she's got a link to who was originally thought of when this first was thought about in the 80s. So I sort of went for that.
Yeah. Old Rob was apparently wanted to do this before.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd looked at for Susan. I thought maybe, especially when I thought Richard Gere, I thought maybe Julia Roberts as the daughter.
See, I got Julia Roberts, but I thought she's far too big for that little tiny part.
What do you see her in these days, though? I bet she'd jump at the decent film now. I also thought Kate Blanchett. When I thought Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford as the couple, I thought for their daughter, I thought Kate Blanchett. She'll look like she could be their daughter.
But to be fair, you think Kate Blanchett a lot of the time anyway, just in general.
I think about Kate Blanchett quite a lot. Full stop.
At least 15 times a day.
The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. I'll think about Kate Blanchett. Hold on.
And there we go.
Blanchett right there was lovely. I think she's wonderful. Full stop. But I just think as Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford's daughter, I think she'd really look the part of it. She just looked like their kid. But then there's the outside choice. And this one's a throwaway, but I'll say it anyway. Winona Ryder.
Right. I knew you were going to say Winona Ryder. Yeah. And I would have said it because my son, there's a link somewhere, Mart. I wonder what that link could be.
Well, I think casting a kid these days, if you don't come up with one of the Stranger Things kids, there's something strange there.
Well, the kid I've got as Gaten Matarazzo. That's the only person I could think doing it.
I went for Noah Schnapp.
Yeah.
But I also went for Jacob Tremblay as well, out of Wonderful and some other films.
Yeah. I could only see Gaten Matarazzo doing this as David. That's the only person I could see doing it. It was right there. I was like, yeah, they're just. So I actually sort of thought I just need somebody to be the mom, and then who could be the parents.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I cast down from thinking Ben, Mary, who could be their daughter, who could be the son, the grandson.
I do like Kate Blanchett. I get Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
But I also love Bryce Dallas Howard. But you know, I'd go Kate Blanchett.
I think Bryce Dallas Howard, for the kids that we're talking about at the moment, all in their teens, she might have been having them quite young.
Yeah. No, she's not mega young. But yeah, I get what you mean.
She's like mid-30s, isn't she? So she'd have to be like late teens, 20 maybe.
Yeah.
Like having the kids, I think.
The other option was Liv Tyler was another option as well, just because I like Liv Tyler.
Yeah, I'll take a moment to think about Liv Tyler.
And there we go. But yeah, I think Helen Mirren, Harrison Ford, Kate Blanchett. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But I am going to...
It just amuses me, the Indiana Jones link as well, once again.
I knew you were going to say that. But I have to say, I love... I could only see Gator Matarazzo, you know...
Well, she'd be able to have him as the kid sort of thing there. At least he'll have the fairer hair.
Yeah.
You could join in there and have that. I'm quite happy to give in on that.
Okay. Yeah, because looking at the original thought, the original person who was meant to be playing it, I believe he was in something called Never Ending Story. And Daryl. I just saw Gator Matarazzo. You know, the curly-haired one. I just saw that.
I'm thinking Jacob Tremblay, because he kind of plays those emotional sort of roles and whatever as well lately. But as I say, I've had so many characters cast on this. Jesus Christ, mate.
Yeah, you've done well, mate.
Fill your boots.
Well, you said we're about 60-40, I think.
We've just agreed on them. They're just good characters.
Yeah. I think there's been so much choice. I think it's about 60-40. So yeah, Gator Matarazzo, we're going to go for him as David, and then finally we need a director. I've only got one director for this. I've got one choice.
Go on.
So I was thinking supernatural, thriller, little bit different, bit of fantasy. He's done something similar before. He's done 3 films where you've seen people from a slightly different perspective in Glass and Unbreakable and Split. So I went for M. Night Shyamalan.
I like your outside the box thinking on there. I'm not sure that he's maybe the guy for it. When they gave him a big studio movie, it was The Last Airbender, and he slaughtered that movie. He did. I think his own stuff is interesting. He has a hit, he has a miss, he has a hit, he has a miss. He has a couple of hits on the bounce, he has a couple of misses on the bounce, I think. I've got my thinking originally for this was, this really, when you sort of look at it, it seems very much like a Spielberg type movie.
Yeah, it does.
If Spielberg wanted to come out of retirement and wanted to come and do it, I think that could be fun. If he didn't, I thought one of his disciples, Mr. J.J. Abrams, he likes a sci-fi.
Yeah.
He likes to tell a story, he likes something a bit emotional.
Yeah.
I could see J.J. Abrams actually doing a good job on this, and the effects would be great. Outside of that, I mean, when you're thinking the smaller guys who could do it, I mean, you could possibly go with one that comedy. Who's the guy who switched from all like the Will Ferrell comedies to doing like The Big Short and stuff like that?
Oh, I'm not sure. See, the other one I thought as well, because I thought Spielberg or one of his disciples. So Robert Zemeckis was the other one. You're gonna need a name to carry all these. It's just massive. And then I thought, do we go really out of the box and go Tarantino because we got Samuel L. Jackson in it?
I don't think there's enough motherfuckers in this for to keep Tarantino interested.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like JJ.
It may be a little bit trite, but he's kind of the guy that would work on something like this. He can do an emotional story. He can do a sci-fi story. He's a proper Spielberg disciple. he'd probably get Spielberg in producing the thing.
Yeah. No.
Actually, he'd probably get Spielberg and Ron.
yeah. JJ for me is bob on, mate.
Yeah. And
Bob
what
on.
about the music?
Well, I was thinking for the music, we need to keep them in. They've been a little bit quiet lately. So The Darkness, I thought The Darkness could do the music.
I was thinking, what's it like in space? It's dark. What about The Darkness?
You know, Norfolk's finest.
Now, you think about this as well. They've got the eggs. Now, what if they have some... What could be in the eggs? You know, I also thought, who could play the kid? Warwick Davis.
Yeah, absolutely. The kid could have been Warwick Davis. A wonderful little role for a wonderful little actor. See, yeah, I thought The Darkness because, you know, they are never going to stop shitting out solid gold, and that's what this film is.
Oh, never.
So, what a cast. Okay.
And they believe in a film called Cocoon.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
it's a pretty solid gold cast.
We have got
the budget will be on this thing.
We've got a cast for a film called Cocoon, and it is as follows. Ben Luckett is played by Harrison Ford. Art Selwyn is Samuel L. Jackson. Joe Finley is Michael Douglas. Bernie Lefkowitz is Dustin Hoffman. Walter, the Antarian leader, is Steve Buscemi. Kitty is Gal Gadot. Jack Bonner is Ryan Reynolds. Mary Luckett, that's Ben's wife, is Helen Mirren. Alma Finley is Julie Andrews. Rose Lefkowitz is, of course, Meryl Streep. Bess McCarthy is Jane Fonda. Susan, so that's Ben and Mary's daughter, is Kate Blanchett. David is the Stranger Things wonderful Gaten Matarazzo. And it's directed by J.J. Abrams with music by The Darkness.
I believe in a film called Cocoon.
Mate, that is a solid gold cast.
That's pretty smart. That's Castaway episode 14. That's Cocoon.
That is
today.
That you know, I wonder if we sort of agreed because there were a lot of big parts. I mean, we would never get this cast, but there's a lot of big parts there. There's a lot of big people there.
Yeah, we'd be lucky to get like half the cast. Yeah. Lucky, really lucky.
Yeah.
If you got like about 3 or 4 of them, you'd probably be lucky.
Yeah.
Oh. Sometimes just for older actors, just getting a group cast there, you do stand a chance of pulling in a few big names. It's just whether we get the big names that we've chose.
This is a phenomenal cast. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, and look at the names we booted out. You know,
yeah,
it's take your pick. You know, when you've not got a Jack Nicholson or a Clint Eastwood in there was no mention of Sean Connery.
When I first thought of this, De Niro was the first name that I thought of. Surely he's got to be Ben Luckett. Yeah. And when Harrison Ford came to mind on it, like, yeah. And I was thinking Richard Gere as well. He could be a good choice for it. You know, he could do the fishing scene where he's doing the little speech to the kid. Could be really good for it. But I just kept getting drawn back to Harrison.
Yeah,
he can do a bit of everything there. Be kind of great. Everyone that we've chose, I think, is kind of great.
It's one of the easier castaways actually to agree on because of the breadth of the parts in it.
Yeah, the quality of the actors that you're choosing from. Even if you don't get the actor you want, there's a brilliant actor there in next space.
And it's funny, isn't it? You know, there was no disagreement because we
don't have the Munt.
Oh yeah, the Munt. He will be back at some point, ladies and gentlemen.
You say that, will he?
Right, mate. That is a cracking Castaway. That is Castaway number 14, and that was Cocoon. Thank you, Martin.
And no Matt Berry.
Cocoon.
Probably be one of the unnamed aliens, though, Matt Berry. Him and Warwick Davis will be the other two unnamed alien guys.
With Richard Ayoade in the background as well.
Well, yes, of course.
Right, we'll stop it there.